This lesson is going to take a look at the meaning of the slope and the y-intercept in context of a particular question or story problem. So let's take a look at this problem. It says Misty saved her money to buy passes to the ski lift at the high ratio mountain ski resort. And then it gives you a table and tells you about the different prices of the different kinds of tickets you can buy. And it says suppose Misty purchased the 10-day ticket package that cost $80 plus $20 per day. Complete the table below to determine the total cost of the lift tickets in the 10-day package for 0 through 6 days. Be sure to include the initial cost of $80. Okay, so if Misty goes to a ski resort and she buys the package, she doesn't necessarily go skiing, but she buys the package. The 10-day package is going to cost her $80. So even if she doesn't go skiing, the 10-day package is going to cost her $80. If she uses the pass to go skiing for 1 day, she still had to pay the $80, and she also had to pay then $20 for every day she goes skiing. So if she paid the $80 to buy the pass and she only went 1 day, it would have cost her $100 because it was $80 for the pass and $20 for the day. If she went for 2 days, that would be another $20 because she would have already bought the pass for $80, already paid the $20 for the 1 day, so she would have been on a total of $100, and then she would have had to pay an extra $20 for the 2nd day, so it would be $120. The 3rd day would be another $20, so that would be $140. The 4th day would be another $20, so that would be $160. The next day would be another $20, so that would be $180. And then the 6th day would be another $20, so that would be $200 total. So the question then becomes, explain how you know the data in the table is linear. Well, we know the data in the table is linear because it's increasing by a constant value each time. So basically, that line would have a common slope, which would make it linear, or a common difference, right, which would be that $20 that it increased by every day. So then it asks us to plot the data from the table on the graph. And notice the days are plotted on the x-axis and the amount of money, the cost for the lift tickets, is on the y-axis. And they're already numbered for you. So we know that 0 days was at $80. 1 day was at $100. 2 days was at $120. 3 was at $140. 4 was at $160. Oops. 5 was at $180, and 6 was at $200. So as you can tell, if we were to connect those dots, those would be linear because they would form that straight line. So the next part of it asks us to determine the slope and the y-intercept, and then what it particularly means in context for the Misty situation. So remember, slope and common difference are exactly the same thing. So our common difference was 20. And technically, remember, slope is rise over run, right? And so technically, as a fraction, 20 is 20 over 1. So 20 is the rise. The y-axis rises. So if you look at the label on the y-axis, that's total cost of lift tickets. So what does that represent, or what does that mean? Then that means it's $20. And then we have for every 1, and then 1 is on the x-axis, and the label on the x-axis is days. So what the slope of 20 means is that it costs you $20 for every 1 day that you go skiing. The y-intercept is where the line or the points cross the y-axis. That would be right there, because that's directly on the y-axis. So our y-intercept is 80. And that's again on the y-axis. Technically that point is 0 on the x and 80 on the y, right? So the 0 is the x, so that means 0 days. And then the y is the 80. The 80 is the money, so 0 days cost $80. So then it says, let D represent the number of days Misty's planning to ski, and let K represent Misty's total cost. Write the equation that would be used to determine Missy's total cost if she bought a 10-day package. When we do this, remember we're writing our equation in slope-intercept form. And remember that it should look like y equals mx plus b, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. So we know that our equation is y equals m, which is our slope, so it's 20, x plus b, and b is our y-intercept, and that's 80. This one tells us to write the equation using d and k. So technically the equation is k equals 20d plus 80, because k is how much it costs and d is the number of days.